Hello everyone, welcome to Achievers IAS classes. Let's begin our discussion on the current events of 31st July 2018. The first issue in news is an editorial regarding the draft Data Protection Bill by the Justice Sri Krishna Committee. The bill was long awaited given the vast amounts of personal data being collected by both private and state agencies and their flow across the national jurisdictions in the absence of a data protection legal framework. Also, in many cases, there was lack of clarity on the purpose for which the data collected was being used. The need for such a legislation was underlined by the fact that the Supreme Court, in its landmark judgment in the Justice K.S. Puttaswamy versus the Union of India case, held that the right to privacy as a fundamental right for which informational privacy is an important component. In this regard, the draft bill seeks to codify the relationship between individuals and the state institutions as the one between data principals or the one whose information is collected and data fiduciaries, which are mainly the entities processing the data. It does so by bringing in a contractual obligation between the entities who have to seek the consent of the data principal for the use of his or her personal information. The draft legislation, in many ways, resembles the General Data Protection Regulation implemented in the European Union, like in providing for data principals, the right to confirmation, correction of data, portability, as well as the right to be forgotten. It also envisages the creation of a regulatory data protection authority to protect the interests of individuals and to monitor the implementation of the provisions of this bill. But there are some grey areas, like the exemptions granted to state institutions from acquiring informed consent from individuals in matters pertaining to the security of the state. The report, however, recommends a law to provide for parliamentary oversight and judicial approval for non-consensual access to personal data in order to provide the necessary checks and balances. Such a law has to be put in place to prevent any undue surveillance and protect the rights of the citizens. On that note, let's move on to the next issue, which is regarding the Anti-Human Trafficking Bill. The Minister of Women and Child Development has clarified that the bill is clear in excluding consenting adults from its purview, but it criminalizes trafficking for the purpose of pushing a woman into sex work and not the act itself. Thereby, the proposed law did not criminalize consenting adult sex workers and migrants. The proposed legislation has, however, faced criticism from several quarters, including the UN experts, for equating trafficking with sex work and migration. According to them, it promoted rescue raids by the police in the name of rehabilitation and certain vague provisions which would lead to criminalization of the activities which do not necessarily relate to trafficking. For further details on this issue, please go back and watch my previous news analysis video. The next issue in news is regarding the Criminal Law Amendment Bill of 2018, which provides for enhancement in the minimum and maximum punishment for rape of girl children aged under 12 years. The bill therefore amends the Indian Penal Code, the Code of Criminal Procedure, the Indian Evidence Act, as well as the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act in order to enhance the minimum punishment for rape of a girl under 12 to 20 years of rigorous imprisonment and the maximum to death sentence or life imprisonment. The bill, once passed, will replace the Criminal Law Amendment Ordinance, which was promulgated in April 2018 following the public outcry over the Kathua rape case. Further, the bill also provides for investigation of rape cases within 2 months from the registration of the first information report and the disposal of an appeal after conviction in a lower court to be done within 6 months. The next issue in news is regarding private sector participation in the manufacturing of defense equipment. In a major step towards this end, the Defense Acquisition Council has approved the implementation of the Strategic Partnership Guidelines, which aims to revitalize the defense industrial ecosystem and progressively build indigenous capabilities in the private sector to design, develop, and manufacture complex weapon systems for the future needs of the armed forces. The strategic partnership model has four segments, namely submarines, single engine fighter aircraft, helicopters, and armored carriers. These would be opened up for the private sector, and under the policy, one Indian private company would be selected in each segment, which would then tie up with a shortlisted global equipment manufacturer to manufacture these technologies in India under the technology transfer from the global counterpart. In addition, the Defense Acquisition Council has also approved platform-specific guidelines for the procurement of naval utility helicopters, and similar guidelines for other categories would be issued soon. The Defense Ministry has stated that the strategic partnership model would be executed by a specially constituted empowered project committee in order to provide focused attention and timely execution of these projects. On that note, let's move on to the next issue, which is regarding the draft National Registry of Citizens, which was recently published in Assam. While the situation has largely remained peaceful in Assam, several political parties, including those in the parliament, have raised concerns over lakhs of people left out of the draft NRC. But as you are aware, the union government has already clarified that exclusion from the list does not result in automatic deportation of the individuals. However, states like West Bengal have expressed concerns that the exclusion of individuals from the NRC might trigger displacement of the people to neighboring states, which only time can tell. On that note, I'm wrapping up today's news analysis. Do like, share, and comment to support this initiative. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.